go through the patches on the Mellotron Micro. Let's hear some of these sounds. Now keep in mind, it is amazing that you have this many Mellotron sounds all in one place, because if you had a real Mellotron, you would not have this opportunity unless you had all of these different tape racks, which would be a lot of tape racks. Nobody had all of these things. Well, I mean, not individuals typically. Anyway, it is really cool that there are this many available patches for you to either embrace the unique Mellotron sound or have this many instruments. So let's go through them. I guess we'll go alphabetically. This is called two brass. Okay, here's the two brass. And you've got that thing where some of these notes are different, which is good in a way, because if you're playing a chord and all of the character of the three different notes that are, multiple instruments per note, it's going to sound more like a real orchestra. However, if you're playing a single note melody, it might stick out a little bit. Every time I hit that E, there's that little k. So you kind of have to find ways around that. And that's just part of playing a Mellotron. Like they did the best they could in trying to keep the tone consistent between notes. It's really hard, but they were able to largely do it. So when you have a thing like that, you're just going to have to suck it up and find a different thing to do, really. So hear how it sounds down low. And up high. All right, let's hear the saxes. Amazing. There's another one of those kind of weird notes. Really cool. Let's hear it down low. Now let's move on to the Mellotron Mark II's 3 violins. Wonderful. What's down below? Lovely. Yeah. We've heard that on a million things, I bet. Okay, let's hear the Chamberlain's 3 violins. It's just, I'm hearing all these things that could be done. It drives me crazy. 3 violins. B, is that what that says? Mellotron M400, 3 violins B. Ooh, darker. You're like, Mark, I'm trying to hear the sounds. Please, can you keep your weird noises to yourself? Stop being so excited. And it's interesting, this one has such a dark tone. What happens when we bring the tone down? It sounds like like you're literally missing high end. It's not like, this is a different character. It's like you're missing something. That's really interesting. But I really like this because it's subdued, like frequency wise. Okay. 4 brass. Chamberlain Music Master 4 brass. Wow. Okay. Basically brass octaves. Wow, right on. I'm going to love all the ones where there's kind of a weird flub on a note. I don't know what was going on when they were recording the Chamberlain, but they had somebody in there who wasn't doing the best job. But again, like I said, if you have stuff like that, it's going to give this thing way more character. It's awesome. 4 saxes. Very nice. Ooh, that you can kind of hear almost. Those notes are really similar. They almost sound like sped up and slowed down samples. But they're not. How weird. I don't know. Interesting. Still a wonderful sound. Kind of an intense attack on this F. That's interesting. 4-voice female choir. One of my favorites. And see, like, you can hear human frailty in there. Someone kind of comes in a little bit off and gets on. There too. And you have octaves, which is interesting. What do they do up here? You've got someone who's trying to hit the high notes, but not everywhere. Which is nice. I mean, you want that because that's what happens. Like when you're arranging for choir, you've got to adjust the choir to suit the ranges of the singer. So it's not a sampler. You're not just going to get all of the notes perfectly spread out all over everything. You've got to adjust to the instrument ranges. And that's what makes this sound more realistic than a sample set. And as a person who has a degree in basically choir, you want those variations and those human frailties because it makes something that sounds full and rich. People hear an individual vocal sample and they're like, no, it's got to be dead on pitch because you can't like have any variation or it's going to stick out. But what they knew when they made this is like, no, you need the full on, it needs to sound like a group of real people singing something. That's low for a girl. You can get those 20th century chords that a choir would struggle with. Which is awesome. Easier than a choir. Sorry, choirs. Okay, so that is our 4-voice female choir.